Let's look at the story of Abraham and Isaac in Genesis chapter number 22. So if you're not familiar, this is the story of where God begins to test Abraham and ask him to sacrifice his son Isaac. Could you imagine that? Having to sacrifice your son. And again, if you don't believe me, go check this out in Genesis chapter 22. And then, so they begin their journey to the mountain in which Abraham is going to sacrifice his son Isaac. And then we see Isaac ask this question in verse number 7. He says, "My father," Abraham replies, "Here I am." And he says this, "Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Abraham responds and says, "God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." This is so powerful because God has already asked him to sacrifice Isaac, but in faith, Abraham believed that God was still going to provide something to be sacrificed. And as they journeyed up this mountain, Isaac carrying the wood and Abraham carrying the fire and the knife, they build this altar on top of the mountain, and then Abraham puts Isaac on the altar and is about to kill him as the sacrifice. And then something incredible happens. As Abraham is going to sacrifice Isaac, he looks up and he sees a ram stuck in the thicket. And Abraham goes and takes the ram, as God says, and sacrifices the ram instead of his son Isaac. And this was the encouragement right here that we find in verse number 14. "So Abraham called the name of this place that they were on, the mountain, the Lord will provide. As it says to this day, on this mountain of the Lord, it shall be provided." And this is what I want to say right here, is that whenever we act out in faith and in obedience, God will always provide everything that we need. I don't know what situation you're going through right now. I don't know what your circumstance may be, but I do know that we serve a God that will provide exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. So today, choose obedience. Choose to serve God in faith that He is always going to come through.